All right, going live here. Q&A. Let's see if anybody shows up. Never tried to do this at night, so I don't know if I'm going to get any viewers or not. People got to work. I know this. So we're going to see if we get anybody in here. If I don't get any viewers, I'm going to make something out of this video. Talk about something. Talk about NASCAR or something along those lines, sports, something. Nobody, everybody's asleep. Been doing these videos during the day. I know a lot of people work during the day, so it's kind of hard for a lot of people to join in on these live streams during the day. Thought I would try to get on here at night, see if I get any activity. Nobody so far. A lot of people already in bed, I'm sure. Got to be up in the morning, got to go to work. Anybody out there? But anyway, I'm gonna do a Q&A. I do Q&As on NASCAR. I'm a big NASCAR fan. Texas Longhorns football, NFL football, predominantly the Dallas Cowboys. Struggling team. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I'm an honest Dallas Cowboys fan. I'll tell you exactly what I think. Team's been struggling since '95, as I've mentioned many times before. Haven't won 2 playoff games since 1995, so struggling, you know. So I'm not going to lie when talking about them. NASCAR, big Chase Elliott fan. Just NASCAR in general. I find it interesting. I enjoy watching it. Chase Elliott finishing in 9th place today at Las Vegas, moving up to 14th in the point standings overall. So anytime you move up in the points, that's a good thing. So, and most importantly, I want to get on here and talk about God and the things of God and the Word of God and help anybody with any questions that they might have concerning God. It's something I want to strive to do. None of us are perfect, but I think that we should strive daily to be perfect as possible. I think that that's important. It's always important to be the best that you can be. So I see I have a viewer. Who is with me? Who is with me right now? Da, 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 da. Let's see. Make sure live chat is on. Who has joined me? All right, I see I've got a viewer doing a live Q&A. NASCAR, NFL, Dallas Cowboys, Texas Longhorns football. Any questions, anything you want to say, you can go ahead and throw it on out here. All right. All right, we're back. Live Q&A. Making sure that my live comments are up to where I can see them when they pop up on the screen. I've got 2 people watching me right now, probably people that I know. They ain't saying anything, so I don't know. Who's with me right now? Who is watching? Say something. All right. How do 4 gay guys sit on a bar stool? Well, I would imagine that would be pretty interesting. I've never been to a gay bar before, so I wouldn't know on that one. I'm kind of afraid to know. Wow. Alrighty then. Turn it upside down. Yeah, I would imagine that would work for anybody. Gay, straight, whatever your preference. But anyway, going into NASCAR today, yeah, we were at Las Vegas today. Pretty good race. The package that NASCAR is running seemed to be working pretty good today. A lot of passing, a lot of movement with the cars, which was unexpected. Figured it would be single file the whole way. Turned out not to be the case. The cars looked pretty racy today, so it was much better. The package that NASCAR is running with the 8-inch spoiler seems to be working pretty good and making for some pretty good racing. So it's pretty interesting to see uh, a real test of how this new package is going to work for NASCAR. So uh, Longhorns football, NFL, Dallas Cowboys, any questions that you might have, I can answer. Dallas Cowboys, as I said earlier, are a struggling team. They made it to the playoffs this past season. Big deal. They haven't won two back-to-back playoff games since 1995. That's right, you heard me correct. 1995. They made it to the second round. They did do that, but they did not win. Again, I say they have not won two playoff games since 1995. So making it to the playoffs, that was good, but they got to get better. Yeah, they could have won, but the fact of the matter is they didn't win. They're getting Jason Witten back at tight end, so I'm pretty excited about that. Jason Witten, he brings a lot to the team, obviously, great leadership. Now, with Jason Witten coming back, I do not expect them to use him on every down. The guy is getting older. I expect him to be used. Yes, Witten is back. I do expect them to use Witten on third down situations, third and longs, especially in the red zone. I expect them to use him, utilize him quite a bit. The guy knows how to get open, obviously, so think that he can be utilized in the red zone, scoring situations, things of that sort. So we have the run game working for us, no doubt, with Ezekiel Elliott. So if we can get some help in the passing game, I think that we'll be good. And what a lot of people don't talk about is the offensive line. Dak Prescott just simply getting hit far too often. So they need some definite help on the offensive line. And last year we had a lot of injuries as well, so that played a part in the struggle, if you will. So get the offense back. We get some guys, backup guys for our starters that are good quality offensive linemen. I think that we'll have a pretty solid year. Um, we do have a tough schedule from what I've seen. We play Green Bay, uh, just some tough games in there, so it's going to be interesting to see. Longhorns going into next season, already looking at our second game for this next season against the LSU Tigers. Already been said that the Longhorns are a substantial underdog. So we always kind of take that role in games as the underdog. Uh, Teams that are ranked above us were always looked at as the underdog, as the team that's doesn't have a chance. I mean, the list goes on and on. Nobody gave us a chance against Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs, and we went in there and we kicked their booties up one side and down the other. Even our mascot got in on the action. That's right. Bevo tried to take out the mascot, their bulldog. If you have not seen this, because you might not be a fan of either team, but you can go on YouTube and you can search Bevo attacks bulldog or something along those lines, and you can see that happening. doing any post-game videos for the Cowboys this season. Yeah, I guess I'll do some post-game videos. I don't do pre-game videos for the Cowboys because you don't look at ratings quite as much. You're not, the comparisons from one team to another are not as great in professional football. College football, there's a vast majority of things that you can look at statistic wise when you're talking about one team versus the other. You're talking about rankings. You might have one team that's ranked, 65th in the nation versus a team that's 12th in the nation. Well, obviously, the higher ranked team has got a lot on that other team. So there's a lot more things to look at in college football. So, but Longhorns going up against the LSU, I think that I'm looking forward to that game. I think that that's going to be a very tough game, especially early in the year, which means that during the off season we're really going to have to prepare and get ready for this game. But yeah, any questions on God, religion, NASCAR, Texas Longhorns, football, professional wrestling? I love professional wrestling as well. Anything along those lines, I'm here to answer the questions. For those of you that did not get the opportunity to watch this video live, I'm going to go ahead and upload it. I'll be doing another live stream, possibly Tuesday, I guess. Let's go for Tuesday around 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll shoot for that. Who is with me? Who's joining me? Anybody? Did anybody just join me? Answering questions. Variety of topics listed in the description above. God, NASCAR, NFL football, Dallas Cowboys, Texas Longhorns football, professional wrestling, a number of different things I know quite a bit about. So car maintenance, anything on a vehicle that you need help with, I can lead you hopefully in the right direction. So going to be doing a brake job later on this week. Going to post a how-to video on disc brakes and how to replace pads for those of you that do not know how to do it. I'm going to make it as simple and easy to follow as possible. Disc brakes, changing the pads on a car is something that anybody can do. It's something that anybody can do. There's just one area with the brake caliper that you need to know. Got to really be careful with. You don't want to break anything. Let's see, who is my favorite professional wrestler? Without a doubt, the Hitman, Bret Hart, would be my all-time favorite. If you're talking current, that would be kind of tough. I would have to say AJ Styles. I think he's overall the best that there is right now. In the ring, there's nobody that can touch him. There's guys that don't even deserve to be in the same ring with him, like a John Cena, or AJ Styles is even far more talented than The Rock. He's done things that Cena, The Rock, people like that have never done. Been to Japan, wrestled overseas, done a number of different things. But all time, I would have to say the Hitman, Bret Hart, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Just the guy was innovative. Did a lot of things that he was never the same. He wasn't like a Ric Flair. Ric Flair is also one of the greatest of all time, probably in my top 5. But the thing about Ric Flair, all of his matches were the same. He did the same moves every night, every match. You could look for him to do the high knee and the flip over the top, and not the high knee, but the knee drop, where it's a rolling knee drop. Just different moves that he had, but Brett was innovative, uh, brought a lot to the table. So, yeah. All right, well, not a whole lot of activity going on in this video. However, if you did not join me for it, you can get on here and view it later. I'm going to post it. So I see somebody else just joined me. Anybody new, just join in on this live Q&A. Let me know you're here. Answer any questions that you have. Car maintenance, NFL, Longhorns, NASCAR, the list goes on and on. Anybody new, just join me. This is a Q&A. All right. Foxtrot. In the NFL, anyone seen kneeling during the national anthem should be tased by the police. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I understand, looking into it, why guys kneel during the anthem. Black Lives Matter, protest. There's a time to protest. If you want to protest, doing it during the national anthem is not the time to do it. There are men that, regardless of what you think about the state of the country right now, we got a lot of bad things going on. New York with full-term abortions and things of that sort, it's getting pretty bad. And it's going to continue to get worse. The Word of God tells us that it's going to continue to get worse. Yeah, I totally, I agree with that. I think it's just, it shouldn't be allowed. I think these guys should be fined each and every time that they do it. Freedom is one thing, being disgraceful and disgracing the flag, and to me that's what it is. You should be standing for those that have lost their lives to make this country what it is today. And if they knew what it was today, they'd probably be rolling in their graves, to tell you the truth, how bad things have gotten. Nevertheless, these men fought. They fought for the flag. They fought to keep us safe, and they should be respected. And when you stand for the flag, that is partially what you're doing. You're respecting those who lost their lives. It's not just, I'm pledging allegiance to this country and I'm looking at the flag only. No, it's what was done for that flag. So I think that's very important to remember. Yeah, I'm not for kneeling during the national anthem, not at all. Kaepernick, all of the stuff that he started, it just, and you see where it's gotten him. Nobody wants him on their team. He's not playing for anybody. So, yeah. Any further questions? NASCAR, NFL, pro football, professional wrestling. Let me look here. Just making sure I'm seeing everything. Hey, man, Professor, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I try to explain things the best that I can to where people will understand me and at least see my point of view. Understand also why the kneeling is being done, but like I say, it's not something. The national anthem is not the time for it. There's a time and a place, and that's not it. Professor, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So anything on NASCAR, God, the Bible, religion, those are all things that mean a lot to me, and I want to help anybody out the best that I can, answer any questions that you guys might have. Doesn't matter if I have 200 people watching this or two people watching this. Something that I'd like to do. So, um, but yeah, as far as football, I'm more into college football. Just because I don't know. Anytime you have that much money floating around, I truly believe that games are rigged. Not all of them, but I think there's some shady stuff going on. I think that there has been for a number of years. Not to bash the New England Patriots, but I think that I'm not their biggest fan. I guess you could say. Um, I don't know. I just not the biggest fan at all. But yeah, college ball to me is just way more exciting with the bands, uh, rooting for the teams and playing the school songs and all of that, and the school and the faculty involved. It's just a totally different atmosphere. You go to a college game and see how loud they get versus professional. You can say what you will, but there's nothing like being in that environment. Uh, it's pretty fun to be a part of. NASCAR, if you guys have never been to a NASCAR race, and if you don't even think that you would like it, just go to one race. Go to one race, and I think your perspective might change just a little bit. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. Those cars are fast. They're whipping around that track. You got to understand 1 second for a NASCAR stock car, they do a football field per second. That's fast. These guys have to have some lightning quick reflexes to be able to drive these cars the way that they do. And these are not small cars, these are 4,000-pound vehicles. I think they're over 4,000 pounds. Uh, and they're moving. You got to be able to withstand the G forces and the turns. You got to be able to know how to handle them, and get them set up right for each track. So that's the kind of stuff that's interesting to me. Um, so I like automotive and vehicles and things of that sort. So also car maintenance. If you guys have any car maintenance questions, anything going on with a vehicle, you can ask me as well. Former GM certified as a salesman and also a former parts specialist, so I can answer a lot of the questions that you might have. I've been able here on YouTube to help out quite a few people with a few of my videos. So it's always a good thing when you can help somebody get something fixed and save some money. It always makes me feel good when I'm able to do that. So um, anything on car maintenance I can answer as well, or at least try to steer you in the right direction. All right, who is watching? Who is with me? Make sure my live chat is still on and operating correctly. Time for bed. Have a good night. All right, Professor. You have a good night. I appreciate the question. That was an interesting question. You should start up an email so that people can send you questions you can answer during your videos. Yeah, I've thought about that, but also you got to think about hate mail as well. Especially with my last live video, I got some individual coming on here trying to say that I was racist, probably because of the name, Righteous Redneck. Oh, he's a crazy white boy. He must, hate us black people. No. I think there's trash in every race. You got white trash, you got Hispanic trash, you got Filipino trash, got all kind of trash. So that's with every race. You got good people in every race too, educated people that use the English language properly, or at least try to. Um, then you got your thugs and your people that are just out to cause problems in the world and for themselves. So that's with any race. All right. I see somebody else has joined me answering questions here. God, religion, um, NFL football, Dallas Cowboys, NASCAR, professional wrestling, car maintenance. That's the one I've been kind of leaving out here a little bit. Anything car maintenance wise, you're having issues with the vehicle, I can help you out. FGTV fan forever. Hey, is that Connor? What's up, man? What's up? It's questions on the NFL, NASCAR, Texas Longhorns football, car maintenance, any car maintenance issue that you might have, I can answer. If I can't answer it, I'll try to steer you in the right direction and get you some help on whatever it is you're dealing with on a vehicle or with a vehicle. All right. Any questions at all? God, religion, things about the Bible, explanation. Did Chase win today? No, Chase did not win today, but he came in ninth, so he got a good top 10, and that's a good thing because we needed some points. Um, so he gained 3 spots in the point standings, so he went from 17th up to 14th, so that's really, really good. It's early in the season. These guys will be going until November. The season will not end until November, so it's a long season. It's only 3 races in, so we moved from 17th up to 14th, so that's good. 9th place, that's pretty good. Not a bad day. We'll take it. Do I think LJ Little Jordan Humphreys from the Longhorns will make it to the NFL this year? You know, I think that I don't know. Pardon me. I do think he's got a good chance. He's a really solid receiver. I do think that he should have stayed in college for one more year, got a little bit more experience under his belt. But he's certainly somebody that you can develop. The guy's got great speed. He's got great hands. He's able to get open. But the thing to remember is that the secondaries in the NFL are far better. These defenders are far more, they got a lot more speed than these guys in college. College teams pick these guys because they're fast and because they have the ability. So everybody that you face in the pros, they're going to be fast. So he's used to utilizing his speed and his size and getting open. I don't think that he would have that kind of success early on in the NFL because every defender you face, for the most part, they're going to be really good. So, but yeah, with some time and some development, I do think that he could do really well, and I think someone will pick him up. I do. I think he's too good, and there's too much to offer with him for him not to get drafted. I don't expect him to go too early, however. All right, not going to stay on here too much longer. AC is cold in this house, making me yawn. But I like the cold. All right, any word on our PNG player that is going to TCU? Well, TCU is actually Texas State University, which is not the University of Austin. So just to correct you on that, the University of Austin is known as UT, not, I'm sorry, whatever you mentioned. Uh, but actually, we have two players from Port Neches Groves High School that I know of that are going. One is a quarterback, and another, I believe, is a defensive player. Um, the quarterback situation with Sam Ellinger, obviously, he's going to be the starter. Nobody there is going to beat him out for the starting position. That's just not going to happen. I look for this young guy from Port Neches Groves High School here in Texas to be probably a third string quarterback, and I think that that's a good thing early on because it's a completely different game. It's a completely different system. When you're a young player coming in, you have to not only learn the plays that the team has on offense, you have to learn the playbook, first of all, and you have to adapt to the speed of the game. And what I mean by that, when you go from high school to college, the speed level is totally different. Guys are a whole lot faster. That's why they got drafted to play in college, because of their size, their ability, their speed. So when you go from high school to college to NFL, the speed of the game itself increases. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. Uh, but just to get in there and learn from Sam Ellinger, the guy's a great, great leader. And he's progressed from the time he started until now. The progression has been pretty outstanding. He's an incredible player to watch, a lot of fun to watch. So, but yeah, I think he'll be part of the team. I think they'll utilize him. Uh, and if they don't utilize the kid will be able to transfer and go somewhere where he can see some playing time. But we drafted him for a reason, so I believe he will be utilized, but possibly not this next year. I think it's a learning time for him. For any young players coming in, I think it's going to be a learning time. Learn the system, learn the playbook, learn the speed of the game. All right. Any questions? Car maintenance, NFL, Dallas Cowboys. Really good question I had earlier on the NFL and kneeling during the national anthem. It's just not acceptable in my book. Men fought and bled for that flag, and I don't think it's something that should ever be allowed. All right. Well, give you guys about another minute. Any questions at all? And then I'm going to get off of here. You guys can view this live stream at your convenience. And you can subscribe, click on the bell. That way you're notified of when I'm on next. And hopefully you can join me for that one. But yeah, I'm doing Q&As on God, the Bible, religion, NFL, anything about the NFL, college football, um, Texas Longhorns football mainly. Big fan of theirs. Professional wrestling. Not really big into watching pro wrestling these days because it's more drama than it is anything else. The storylines are horrible. It's just not what it used to be. Uh, 80s, 90s were the best time, in my opinion, for pro wrestling, especially the 80s. I would say that the wrestling in the 80s was even better than what we saw in the 90s. The 90s was a lot of soap opera type stuff, but the storylines were great. They were. We did see some great matches, but you know, how long has it been since you've seen an hour long match? I can remember as a kid in the 80s seeing 45-minute, 50-minute, hour long matches, all the time. So just stuff that you don't see anymore. Macho Man Randy Savage against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, WrestleMania 3, one of the all time best matches that you'll ever see. You just don't see that kind of thing anymore. The Z-Man versus Flying Brian Pillman, these are matches that you're never ever going to see again. Two guys that just go out there and tear the house down. It's just not something that happens anymore. Guys go out there and break a sweat for 10, 15 minutes and it's over. Yeah, when his tooth went through his lip. I don't know who you're referring to. I know who you're referring to, but let's see. Talking about Mankind, you're talking about Mick Foley. You're talking about 1997. That's the year that match happened. When I say I'm a guru and I know my stuff, I know my dates. I know my years. I know when this stuff happened. When he went through the cage from the top. Actually, that wasn't a cage. That was the Hell in a Cell. There's a difference. A cage has 4 walls. The Hell in a Cell has a roof. So, just to correct you on that one. The Hell in a Cell is what he fell through, which was never intended. They never intended on that happening. So the first fall off the top, where he was thrown off the top, that was planned. The fall through the top of the cell, that was not planned. Luckily for The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, and Mankind, Mick Foley, they didn't both fall through the top of the cell and sustain some really bad injuries. Taker had a bad ankle. I want to say his ankle was broken, if I remember right. In this match, taped it up, went out there and wrestled anyway, climbed to the top of the cell. So that's pretty crazy that he was able to do that. Mick Foley having his tooth knocked through his upper lip into his nasal cavity, I guess you could say. That was pretty crazy. Sustained other injuries as well. I think his shoulder was separated, if I'm not mistaken. Couple of ribs. So, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy match. Anyway, any more questions at all? Car maintenance, NFL. Just scrolling through my questions here. Texas Longhorns football, NASCAR, anything along those lines. All right. Think I'm going to get off of here for now, but you can join me. Let's do it Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will get back on here and try to do another live stream during the day. My last one that I did during the day had a little bit more success, so we will do it then. So you guys have a good night. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell with the parentheses right there. That way you're notified of when I'm going to be on. So